Hi, in this video, we shall be learning about joins in SQL. Now, what are joins? Sometimes what happens is when you are dealing with multiple tables or you are dealing with two tables or more than two tables. And most of the times there is a need of joining data. So how do we join? Of course, the basic concept of joining is you need to have a common element between two tables. Just imagine you have a table called as employees where you have all the employee information, employee name, employee ID, employee age, salary, and manager ID. That means each employee is assigned to a manager. But all the manager details are in another table. So in manager table, we have manager ID, manager's name, manager's division, and some other details as well. Now, if somebody asks you, can we get the list of employees along with their manager IDs, along with their manager names and their respective division? Of course, we can do it. How do we do it? We need a common column in that. So what is the common column in these two tables? The common column is manager ID. So in order to do a join, you need a common linkage or a common column which will create a relationship. Okay, so there are multiple types of join. Again, it all depends upon your scenarios, in which scenario you want to do what. Okay, by the time progresses, you will automatically understand which is the scenario where I'm going to use right join, where I'm going to use full join, or where I'm going to use inner join or left join. You can see in most of the real world problems, we might need data from multiple tables. That's where joins come into picture. This illustration shows you the different types of joins. Sometimes you have to join to your own table. That is called as self join. Sometimes you need, let's say you have two tables, you need all the information from table 1 and the matching information from table 2. That is a left join. All from left, matching from right. Similarly, the other way around, all from right and matching from left is basically your right join. If you need only the matching elements, let's say table 1 has employee 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, table 2 has employee 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. So what are the common elements? 1 and 2. So your inner join will return only the common elements. Similarly, outer join or full join gives you the entire table. And another join is cross join, which basically gives you a Cartesian product. So let's try to see what are the different scenarios and how do we manage different types of joins. Conceptually, I already explained what is a right join. So the right join keyword returns all records from the right table and the matching records from the left table. How do we use it? Select columns from table 1, right join table 2 on table 1.id equals to table 2.id. So for an example, you have two columns, two tables, right? Employee table. Let's say here in this case, you have employee table and you have project table, employee information. So you need your first name, last name from the employee table and project name from the project table. How are they connected with each other? They both have IDs, probably employee ID or project ID. So select A dot first, B dot A dot last, B dot project name from table A, right join table B. So A and B are your aliases on A dot ID equals to B dot ID. Exactly same piece of code you have to do for all type of joins. When it comes to left join, you can see you are just changing the right keyword to left keyword. That's it. This means all information from employee table on only the selected information from the project table. That means the matching records. Similarly, we have inner join. Inner join is nothing but, as you can see, this particular thing is your inner join. All the common elements. How do we write it? Simple. We just have to change the keywords from right, left to inner. That's it. So This is all about your right join, left join, and inner join. And let's go back to MySQL workbench and we will try to create some records and we will see how the results differ by using different types of joins. Okay, so here I'm going to use a database. Let me drop the database because I just created a couple of minutes before this class. So my database is dropped. So I'm going to create this database called as join underscore SQL. My database is created. Use join underscore SQL. Everything is done. Show tables. Of course, there is no table, right? Because we have just created this particular database. Now, I already have the setup. So I'm going to create two tables. One is going to be customers table and one is going to be orders table. Okay. Customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, city, postal code, country. All these are customer information. Orders, order ID, we have customer ID, which customer has done this order. We have the employee ID, order date, and shipper date or shipping date. So let's try to create the tables. Create table customers, customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, city, postal code, what else? Country. Everything is done. So we'll start with defining the data types. Customer ID is integer. I'll keep it as varchar 100. Let's do this. Contact name also this, address also this, city also this, postal code could be integer, could be whatever you want to. Let's say 10 digit and then varchar 20 digits. That's it. So let's try to create this table. I'm not creating any primary key or anything. If you want, you can simply define your primary key. Up to you. Primary key ID. Up to you. And in case you are doing this, just make it not null. Let's do this. Let's do primary key itself. Customer ID is my primary key. Done. My table is created. So similarly, I'll also create my orders table. Orders. So these are all my columns. Order ID, customer ID, employee ID, order date, shipper date. So order ID, I'll give integer, customer ID integer, employee ID integer, order date, date time, shipper ID, let's say worker. Let it be integer. Okay, that's it. I'll create this table. Of course, order ID has to be primary key here. Okay, now I'll create my order table because every order is unique in nature, right? So that is the reason I'm doing a primary key for order type. Now simply I start creating my inserts. Insert into customers, values. Let's do one and then we will try to, let me just copy this just for my simplicity. So I'm going to pass different attributes. Let's say customer ID 1, customer name, I'll give my name, contact name, my name, address, you can just have a detailed address, it's up okay. Hong Kong, postal code, I don't have a postal code. So, and Hong Kong. Okay, done. Let me just insert it if it is correct or not. Everything is correct. So I will just reuse this code to create multiple queries. Okay. Let's create 10 records. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, it's okay. Let's create 11 records, 10 records. Okay. So I'll just quickly name them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Random names, Shalini, Rupa, Sub, Subrajit, Priya, Ramesh, Suresh, Sid, Mafia, Nana, something like that. Some random names. I'll just quickly copy paste it so that we don't waste time in doing these stuffs. Everything is done. So let me just change. What was the fourth column? Address. Address. Okay. Bangalore. Let's keep every address as same. Bangalore, Bangalore, Bangalore. Let's do Delhi. Mumbai, Mumbai. Pune is very close to my heart, so I'll give Pune as well one name. And then city also same. It's going to be same. Couple of minutes and the records will be ready. Mumbai. In the meanwhile, if you are also doing these activities, it will be really good. So I'm keeping everything, these things. I'm not changing any postal code, so it's okay. We are just concerned about showing the joins, that's it. So not changing the postal codes. Everything is done. So I'll just run this and done. All the records are created. Now I'll do it for the second table into orders, values. For this one, let's say we'll create 5 orders. So order ID, I'll give, let's say 901. Customer ID, let's say 1. Employee ID 1. Order date, let's say 01/01/2021. And then shipper ID. Shipper ID, let's say, I don't know, 92701. Okay, 92801. Let's run this. Incorrect date time. Okay. Okay, let's try to use sysdate. So okay, we don't care about the dates. Done. Let's create 5 orders. Okay, so I'll give order IDs as this. So employee ID, then 4, then 5, then 6, something like that. 6, 5, 4, something like that. Sysdate minus 10, sysdate minus 20, sysdate minus 30, sysdate minus 40. And then shipper IDs, let the shipper IDs be same. Okay, that means who shipped it. So everything is done right now. And I'll quickly check my table. Select start from customers. So these are all my customers that are already created, and these are all my orders. And then these are all my orders. Now we'll start with the first join, which is going to be left join. Now let's go back to left join or right join. Let's start with right join. Actually, let's start with left join. That will give you a better clarity. So left join is all the records from the left one and the matching records from right. Okay, so select star. I'll just change star because star is not the right keyword to use. Customer C, and then you can see left join. Then the next table orders O on C dot customer ID equals to O dot customer ID. So how these two tables are connected to each other based on customer ID? Simple. So we already understand this part. Select something from table 1, then I'm giving the alias as C, left join table 2 on table 1 dot column equals to table 2 dot column. Everything is clear from this part to this part. And now let's say you want certain information. What all information you need? Let's say you want customer ID. So I'll do customer ID. You need customer name also. You need country, and you need from table 2, you need table 2, you need what is the order? Yes, order, and b dot sorry, order ID, and b dot order date. Let's do this. So everything is clear. So let's try to run this. This is a left outer join. Okay, something is wrong. A dot customer ID, is it wrong? Customer ID, everything is correct. Customer ID. In orders also we have customer ID. Let me just select something, 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 b dot something from table, left join orders O. Everything seems to be correct. What's the mistake here? Unknown column A dot customer ID in the list. Okay, let's just, I don't know what's wrong. Anyways, in field list. Oh, my bad. What a mistake. I'm using alias as C and here I'm using A. My bad. So this is O, this is O. Okay, let's run this. And this is a left outer join. That means all the records from the customer table and the matching records from the order table. So we have these 3 customers who have done some orders, 1, 4, and 5. So Mr. Satyajit, Subrajit, and Priya has done some orders, right? And others haven't done the orders. So how will the details look like? If I run this, you can see this data. This is how your data looks like. So I'm getting all the information and their respective orders. And for people who haven't ordered, I'm seeing all the records as null, simply. So these 2 tables, these 2 records, order ID and order date, are from my second table, are from my orders table. And these 3 columns are from my first table. So this is how it looks like. So of course, if I short my customer ID, how many records do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 records. Okay, why do I have 11 records? Because Mr. Satyajit has 2 orders, and rest Mr. Satyajit has 2 orders, Mr. Subrajit has 1 order, and Miss Priya is having 1 order, and Ramesh is having 1 order. So these are the 5 orders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 people, 5 orders, and rest 6 people, no orders. So 6 plus 5, 11 records. Okay, as simple as that. This is how your inner left join looks like. Similarly, we'll go ahead and check out the right join. Very simple thing, everything from right and only the matching from the left one. So here, let's say I will add one more attribute. Okay, so I'll have another ID called as 906 and customer ID 11. Okay, just imagine this is one customer who has done some order, but there is no records in the customer table. Simple. So I'll just run this and then incorrect date name. Okay, order date. It's okay. Done. Now I'm going to do the right join. So all the records from order table and matching records from the customers table. If you want to check how many records will you get, what will be the count of records, pause this video and do a check in your head and then run this. So if I run this, of course, I will see 6 records, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry. 11 is not there because it should have returned. Okay, 11 is not there because the 11th record is not present in your first table, right? So that is the reason there are no records for this one. So this is how your right outer join looks like. You can see. So we already have this customer ID. So customer ID is null. Why it is null? Because I'm using c.customer ID. So I should use the the table where I'm doing the right join. I should use that. So now you can see 11th customer ID. There are no details. I don't see the details, but he has the order, right? So there are 7 records, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, there are 6 records, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Similarly, I will do for inner join. Inner join, as we already know, only the matching records. So inner join, let's do for table A. And this is how the inner join looks like. Why do we have only this information? Just see this one. Who has done the transaction? Mr. Satyajit. Satyajit has done. Satyajit has done twice. Mr. Subrajit, Mr. Ramesh, Mr. Priya, Miss Priya, and Ramesh. So 4 people have done some transactions, and you can see four customer names and 5 transactions. Simple, right? This 11th customer ID is not present in the first table, so it will not come in the inner join. One thing to notice will be there is another way how you can write inner join as well. So some people do it like this. Some people also do it like this. Instead of on, you just do where this. This is also called as inner join. Same records. So select all your columns like table aliases dot their table columns from table 1 comma table 2, where table 1 dot column equals to table 2 dot column. These both the queries looks little bit different, but these both are inner joins. Okay, just in case anybody writes this, don't get confused. It doesn't have the keyword called as inner. How is it working like inner join? Now this is how it is. So our next topic is going to be outer join. So how do we write outer join? I'm going to simply copy paste this one and change it to full join or outer join. But there is a catch. The catch is in MySQL database, in MySQL workbench, we don't have a concept of full outer join. You can probably use full outer join in Oracle SQL or in Microsoft SQL. I'm pretty sure that we have outer join and full join in Oracle SQL, but in terms of MySQL, we don't have a concept of full join. Instead of that, what you can do is, how can we implement that? It's quite simple. You just have to implement a left outer join and implement a right outer join and then do a union. So let me do this. Left outer join, and this is how my right outer join looks like. And then what I will do is I'll do a union operation. Let's just try it out. I'm not sure if it will run or not. Yeah. So this is basically a full outer join. You can see all the customer details and all the order details are available here. All the information. So this is basically a full outer join. So this is how you implement full outer join in MySQL. You do left outer join, table 1, left outer join, table 2, table 1, right outer join, table 2, and then mix it, union, add it. Okay, I hope everybody knows about union and intersection, right? So union means we just add it, or clause. Intersection means and clause, right? Similarly, there is another concept called as cross join. I'm not pretty sure if we have cross join in MySQL or not, but we can just try it out. Cross join. Well, we have cross join. So this is how your cross join looks like. I think cross join is pretty similar to inner join, if I'm not wrong. 11456. Let me run this. 11. Yeah, cross join is very similar to inner join. So this is how your different types of join works. When you have multiple tables, then your queries might be too complex as well. For an example, you are dealing with three tables: customers, orders, and I don't know, maybe calls. So three tables. So you have to do something like this: multiple outer joins, multiple inner joins. So this the complexity will increase, right? So you just have to practice multiple joins. So once your two tables are joined, and then you have to take care of the third table. This is how it works. So this is all about joins. I hope you liked it. And please make sure you practice a lot, because joins is one of those topics where lot of interviewers are focusing on, lot of questions are being asked in interviews. So I hope everybody does a good practice on joins. That's it for joins, and in the next class we'll be talking about some advanced topics. Thank you.